Loading up the
video.
mics are on, just so you know.
I'd like to call a meeting to order at 6:22 p.m. And if we could please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Pledge
allegiance.
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice, for all.
Hey, Shannon, is there anyone that signed up to speak? Please remind them to state their name and address for the record. If there's no one in the audience, can you please state maybe no public participation?
We had no public participation.
First thing on the menu, regular items, consider approval of February 4th, part of the Community Development Corporation regular meeting minutes. Discussion and motion and second and vote. Do we have anything regarding the approval of those?
Thanks.
Is there anything that we need to be discussing right now for the minutes from our last meeting?
If anybody found something that needs to be changed, if not, we can do a motion to approve it presented.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right.
And vote and all four. Everybody. And then against. Okay, so meetings, the minutes pass 4-0.
Good job, bud.
I know. Thanks.
Okay, I believe that the next thing I need to look at is our economic development projects, including requests for proposals for the proposed landscaping projects. And I believe we've all got that paperwork available.
Do we want to take a minute and switch, or do you want to continue?
We can switch, I mean, he's the guy here, so I'm not,
That's up to you two.
I'm gonna switch in or we're keeping it.
does not matter to me,
Had some cows punched through a fence and was chasing them and lost track of the time, so.
Did lose any cats.
Yes, so we got everything.
would you like to take it? That's yours. That's yours.
You get your steps in on Chinese.
We need to see you talk about.
I did, yeah. All right, so again, I apologize for being delayed. Sometimes the country living is what we get when we're out here, so. We're gonna pick right up then into next up here, we're gonna discuss potential economic development projects, including requests for proposals for proposed landscaping projects. We're gonna open this up for discussion.
Yes, I did include in the packet, Director Latham's draft, RFP, if anybody has any changes. I know that Director Smith sent me some that was great for the discussion, so she'll bring those up. Do you want to go ahead and start with yours?
I'd be glad to be. I think this is very, very well done. I think it really touches on a lot of the things that were already kind of a guideline to what we were looking at, what we discussed about trying to improve and betterment everything, including erosion. The only concern that I didn't see, and that does not mean it has not been included somewhere, is I think we need to find out if the awarded business, what guarantee do we have on for planting? How long will they guarantee these plants to live? If they're going to build up the erosion areas, which Scott is a much more intelligent person on this than I could ever be, how are they going to guarantee and how long will they guarantee what they're putting together is going to obviously hold up without us having to, as a community, going back and redoing all this? So That's the only things that I'm kind of concerned about, that I had not seen. As far as the construction of the beds, the drainage resolution. Is there limits on the guarantee and, you know, is there limits on the plans as far as the RT zones?
Sure. I think in general, most companies aren't gonna offer us a lifetime guarantees, you know, but it's open to negotiation.
Well, I agree with you there.
So I think it's kind of whatever we predetermined going into it, saying, you know, give us your bids and include in there. Provisions for maintenance, possible maintenance, once a year upkeep, any repairs. You know, those types of things, I think all of those will need to be negotiated at the time of picking the right person. But there's not gonna be a straight answer across the board. I think it's just going to be whatever terms that we can find agreeable by, you know, particular companies, so. Do you want to add any other insight or opinions on that?
I had a quick question. In my minutes, I actually had down that Jeter and McMakin, that intersection right here was not feasible, and she's listed in here. Cause I thought we decided not to do that one because of the side, the cement on the side and then bushes already in front of the blue building. And then the other one being a residential lot and the Kroger, so I thought that was not.
I think what we decided on was let's let somebody look at it and see feasibility. And if it's just not feasible, that would be the one that would go away.
Okay,
But if there is something that the current owners or tenants of those wouldn't mind changing, and it's even, you know, something that based on the water flow and erosion will work there, I think we're open to considering.
thank you for the clarification.
Am I right in that?
Yes, you are right. The other issue I have with it is in Jeter East and 407. The depression along the west side of the road.
Yeah.
Is incredible. They may need to think about possibly widening that area over there or do something, because even if you put gigantic rocks, they're gonna get run over.
Yeah,
And it literally is 2 feet deep.
I think it's mainly the larger trucks that are turning in off of 407. So if we need to, I mean, is that Texas?
Well, TxDOT, you know, obviously 407 and Jeter's homes.
Okay.
So that would be half something and that would be a lot of money to widen that road.
Okay.
And that's not in the budget.
Even just that neck there.
You know, I could get, you know, we only have a certain amount of money. I mean, we're getting ready to do phase 3.
Right.
As you know, we don't, there's certain budget items and we just did some maintenance. You notice we did some maintenance around here, just trying to keep our roads up till we get around to redoing, and we're doing phase 3. So what I'd recommend, I think if you did, you could probably maybe fill that in. We could get with our company that does the maintenance. They might be able to fill that in with asphalt, but I don't know what cost that would be. We could.
Honestly, God, I don't think asphalt's gonna have that. You're gonna have some big riprap in there or do something.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to have some sizable
Yeah.
material underneath that area.
You know, I'm not gonna say, you know, we can look at that, but that's quite a cost to the city to go there, do concrete. I think what we'd have to do is put the boulders there that they just have to go out wider. Cause that's what's going on, this big trench going down that one side, as you know, right there. But
If we got the boulders.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make them, force them.
it does.
Well, force them to not move forward potentially, but then they're gonna have to back up and, you know, who knows what that might do as far as causing, you know.
And she just goes to the light and turn there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, can we put up a sign that says no trucks?
Well, we have that. We have no truck traffic in our city already. They're delivering and they're going that direction. That's what they're doing. But that's something I think when you design this, I think what we do is look at the design and see what we can do to give them enough room to make that turn. But to To do concrete on that, that would be quite an expense to the.
Is that concrete now?
Well, no, it's asphalt. Concrete is 407, but
Right.
what Scott's saying,
You'd
asphalt's
have,
not.
you'd have to cut that corner off, the tone.
Well, what you could do, they would have to go in there and sort of like we're doing right now, it's called geogrid that you put on after they do the. Like the crushed rock, then the geogrid, and then they put down the asphalt, and that's what we did, we're getting ready to do phase 3. So that would be something that. If you did want to do this right now, we'd have to wait. And I could get a price for that. I don't know that the BCDC could do the road, even though it's beautification. I guess we'd have to ask the attorney that. If they could pay for that, that would be something that would, because it's beautification, it's widening a road, so I don't know if that's gonna fit in that.
Let's get applied probably on our piece, so.
Just normalcy, which way do you think they're hitting that at? Are they coming from the?
I think they're coming, what they're doing, they're going down, going towards Lantana, and you're coming down from, Hilltop, and then they're making a right, and their big wheels are just cutting across and cutting that corner on the north side.
I think they're going the other direction. myself.
7.
Yeah, 407, that's, yeah, they're coming for 407. Oh, you think they're coming the other direction?
Yeah, I think they're coming from the east.
Because they're trying to hit that wide because, at the very least, and I made this comment actually to my wife the other night. When someone was pulling up to that stop to turn right. And they were all the way out on the road and we had to like swerve to turn left there. Maybe just getting that, what's that called? That striping and pushing a stop sign back. So that that truck doesn't have to dodge a car when it's turning left.
We could do that.
I mean, that should be.
We could do that. Hopefully they'll stop,
You know.
before they get to the white line, right?
Yeah, that's
Sure,
true.
that's a great idea. I mean, we could try that and you're probably right. I was
And then we just had
thinking it could have been the other way.
PD enforce it for a couple of weeks, that people aren't rolling that stop sign,
Yeah.
they'll get the memo like they did when. We put in all the other stop signs. I don't know, again, these are just suggestions, but what I would hate to happen is we go through all this and we make it just beautiful. And day 1, day 2, the truck comes through and it's toast already. And this is gonna be a weekly reoccurring issue.
So on that one, you just don't even want to look at it because I can't do anything until October. And my maintenance budget has been tapped out.
Well, my question is, you've got a 2-foot deep, without exaggeration, divot. And we're responsible for it, and if somebody goes off the road, are we not liable in some way? I mean,
I wouldn't think
it's a 2-foot.
I mean,
That's
you know,
not-
you can make scenarios up, I think, all day long. I wouldn't think that would, I mean, we just, I'll look at that and I think.
Take a that road, and if you're off of the road. then-
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of, driving attention, you need to pay attention to what you're doing.
How did we get a gigantic boulder there and,
How about 3 or 4?
and see what they want to do?
Yeah,
Well, I will say this, if you go to Hudson Hills and you look at those narrow roads, you look at every home up there, they're putting boulders. And we had to put boulders around stop signs because they were getting hit. If you put boulders in that where that ditch is, I tell you what, those 18-wheelers aren't gonna be hopping up on that. I mean, I don't think they will.
I mean, maybe
rarely,
right, maybe once.
Well, and like you say, I don't think going back and doing the line is a great idea. But as far as, if you wanna do something now and see how it goes, you can do that. It's boulders, I mean, are less expensive than asphalt, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Because that right there. It's $100,000 or more job. It's expensive.
10-foot by.
Probably, well, I'd say probably 50,000, 50 to 70. It just depends on how far you go down. Cause you're gonna have to widen that at least 4 feet on each side. And you're gonna have to go in and totally redo it. It'd probably at least,
Okay.
probably 50, 60,000.
Yeah. Well, I say then, we move forward with planning it, putting it in, and. If we have to do a repair and make a decision down the road, rather than planning for a what if scenario. I think it's gonna be more cost effective to do it all at once versus two jobs.
next week, go ahead and put that in, their bid process too, and just say, hey, you're gonna have to come up with. I'd have to say at least 8 large rocks of probably, yeah, maybe 8 cubic feet. They're pretty big.
It would be big.
Well, no,
They'd be big. It'd be, well, if you look at some of them by the horses, there's some big boulders there. And I think that you'd want
A
to.
boulder there, they're not gonna run over that boulder, because they don't wanna run the mess of truck.
Not during the day.
They're gonna find a way not to do that.
Right. They're gonna wait till it's clear or go down, like you said, to the light. If I can't turn there, then I'm probably gonna go to the light. And if I'm a truck driver, like, I think I'd try it once and go, hey. I'm gonna. Yeah.
The light would probably be a better turn there anyways. It's kind of a sharp turn either ways and.
Well, I would love to have wider roads. At some of these places.
Yeah. Okay. So do we have any motions or anything that we need to consider for this? Other than approving to get bids, or do we have bids? Have we,
No.
We, she brought this to you to look through, and if you're okay with it, I think the next step would be to find some companies for you to send the bid to. So I'm not sure if anybody knows anybody that we want to send this to, and who wants to send it to those businesses.
So we just completed, Jeter Road East and figure 2, basically.
Right.
Good discussion.
I don't know anybody specific, I mean, I'm happy to do some research if nobody knows anybody,
You would do it,
Kirk, I know you have, we have that company. that
Evergreen,
gives-
Evergreen was the one that I gave you, it was an 88,000, but like I said,
Yeah.
he went high end with. Colorado Rock, and that was just to give y'all an idea of what the cost could be.
Sure.
Right.
So that could be either in that range, less.
Are we gonna go with that as their bid, or would we like to?
You know, what we would do, because if you're looking and we're talking about this intersection of 407 Jeter, you know, she just has that red line and it doesn't even go down to where we're talking about. You gotta go down another, what, 30, 40 feet at least, I would think,
Right.
down on each side. They would be more than happy to give you a bid. I mean.
What I don't see on here are what we discussed last time, which were like the end caps of the medians. Yeah,
Right, going further.
it just the whole way, like town limits.
Yeah, I
town
don't think
limits.
she put those in there. I think we sort of, or maybe Shannon can read the minutes, but I think we sort of, I know we talked about that, but I think we're sort of gonna try and stay in front of the Kroger right now.
For the entire median, but.
Just, yeah, okay.
You wanted the
That's
end
been
caps
just the end
over there.
caps, yeah, of each.
Yeah, that's not on here.
Yes.
Well,
We can do that.
I was gonna say, you guys, it's,
And I don't see the signs on here either that we discussed. Or is that a different? we
that would
discussed-
be included in here. if you
Yeah,
want
we
to.
discussed maybe putting sign on either end, well, with the town of Bartonville.
Cause you can add it like, it's only a draft document that you have right now, so if you want to move forward with the end caps or whatever, or the
I
sign.
think we can get a bid, and then once we get the bids, we can say, okay, let's eliminate this just doesn't make
well,
sense.
just because we do an end cap doesn't mean that we're landscaping that whole thing,
Right.
that's just the, end cap. So,
But the end caps where the signs would go is gonna be grass right now, so somebody's gonna have to still maintain that. I'm assuming that's gonna be.
Evergreen. Well, Evergreen's the one that does maintain state forest current.
That's not the medians.
Does that go out to bid every year? As far as,
No, we just have been using them.
okay,
You know, they do a great job for us. They're great customer service. Yeah, they've been doing it for the last 2-3 years, but I actually counted the end caps right after our meeting and I don't have the number on that, because I went down and tried to count those, but, you know, definitely do signs like Shannon's saying. You guys can
so
put-
who does the maintenance now and in the medians, like?
That's tech stuff. The only place we do it is over across from Six. That area where we're talking about Jeter, 407. Then they do the where the horses are at. and then they do town hall.
Okay.
That's-
And we did find out.
Yes,
last
we did, they do that portion there by, Fox, not
Wolf Run.
Wolf Run.
Right.
They do, but they do not do anything in the median. All, and you'll notice that it's 407, the tech stop, it's that big old tractor, drops it and whacks it down and I don't think even we eat, so,
And Evergreen's the one that does the entire, like Kroger shopping center too?
part of,
Evergreen's the one that does the entire Kroger shopping center, or that's?
no, that's New Quest. They do their own, well, the only thing we do are the horses.
Yeah.
Over at Fox Run or Wolf Run, and then here. These are the only three places that they currently do the landscaping and mowing for us. And actually, we'll be doing some flowers here.
Yeah, and I think we actually found them because they're the ones that put in the new landscaping at Old Town. We went out for bid before they did that, and then they came back, we changed it around. And the board finalized what they wanted, and then they did it the following, next planting season. I can't remember, it was fall or something. But they did such a great job, and I think that's why we kind of moved to them.
Sure. All right, well then, I would say let's make a motion to get two bids, let's do 3 bids for everything discussed, and let's go ahead and throw in,
We're gonna go through 1 through 3 though, not 4 yet.
okay. Not to even get bids on them,
I would do end caps where it's shown on 4 and how it goes further back to the north on 407 past Marty B's. How far do we go to that direction? Do we go to Country Club?
No, are you talking about 407? How
Yeah.
far do we go north?
Yes.
You go past Hilltop, you go all the way in front of the past Tractor Supply, when you see the fireworks stand, goes straight across and then it goes into our Argyle. So we go quite a ways. Like I said, I did the number of end caps. I can't remember what it was after our last meeting, but there are quite a few end caps.
I think that's how we should approach figure 4, then just doing end caps from the beginning of town. Let's say 10 feet in.
I don't think caps to go that far in, but,
Okay,
um,
if they can figure end caps in.
yeah, maybe 8 to 10 feet, I think you're probably right, I'm kind of looking just to get a size here, but probably somewhere in that.
And so, you know, some of those already have concrete, obviously, when you have the left turn and then it
Yeah.
goes to the grass. You wouldn't then put, obviously, you don't want to do anything you don't want to redo the concrete.
No concrete.
No, it's from the other projected back.
Small one.
Some towns do the nice red brick, to cover up the concrete and then,
No.
okay. You're just one, that's
Just talking to you behind where that.
Yeah.
That cap goes, and
You can all add that to the bid.
then a couple of signs on either end, is. Okay,
So the sign on the far west side would be down by 1830, that would be the farthest point.
it would be, right where the old New Song School of the Arts was, that house.
Yeah, we get you an exact, I mean, it can be, and we can put it right there across from
The first meeting that looks.
That looks the nicest, yeah.
yeah,
We don't have to be 100% exact.
no, we could put,
If
one,
we find a better place for the sign that's gonna look nicer and yes, that's my vote.
Okay. All right, so I'll put a motion out there to get the bids for items discussed in seconds.
A second.
Sorry,
Yep,
have you decided on where you wanna get the bids yet?
we have not. We've decided we'll choose 3 companies and we'll give Evergreen a shot, since they've been so gracious to already start and get measurements. And they're already servicing the town. So I think an additional 2.
Was whole landscape or anything besides, Lantana? Or do we know,
who's that?
gold landscape?
I'm the only one I'm familiar with is Evergreen, because that's who we use. I couldn't tell you any other landscaping company. Yeah, I mean, that would be one to look at. I know some of the new cities, why not that's what I look for is who, you know, if they do land, who does double oak? I don't know, I mean, I would look at those or
Or
North
who,
Lake.
yeah, who's already worked with,
Argyle or.
with other cities that has a proven track record, so.
In regards to the end caps and such, we need to see if we get Lantana to participate at all.
Well, that was something that, well, Kevin Mercer had mentioned that. It was just in passing, we haven't talked about it, but, you know, you can get the pricing. I think we're the ones moving forward on this. You know, all you can do is ask.
Sure.
Wouldn't they want to say Lantana on there somewhere though? They did that,
Problem.
yeah.
Who's got Lantana all over the place?
Yeah, that's, we're not gonna advocate that.
Well, this is y'all's decision. He mentioned it, but, you know, we have Lantana Town Centers in Bartonville, so.
I mean, I just,
Yeah.
they have enough stuff.
I agree.
But you're right, they want their name on something, you're probably right, yeah.
Yeah.
They want it bigger and above ours.
So in our signs, you know, our signs should be,
Right.
you want to put your water tower that says Lantana, you know, hopefully welcome to Bartonville, and it'll be right by the water tower. But in the median there. And then, yeah, somewhere down on the other side.
So do you want me to ask her?
Yes.
I think it's okay to ask you.
You can ask.
Don't volunteer where putting names or anything on it, but just ask if they would like to help beautify
The meetings?
at least the medians within
They share,
the town center area.
because they wouldn't share the far east or the far west end anyway.
No, I can do that.
We can count and say, you know, there's 27 end caps, so we'd like you to help in 10.
Before I do that, though, why don't you give me some pricing?
Yeah.
Before I go and.
Of course.
Ask for it, because I just want to say, yeah, and I'm not gonna have a number, so give me some pricing. Then I can go have a meeting with them, take them to lunch, get some coffee at Marty B's or something, and see what he says.
Perfect. Okay, is our existing motion, is it good, or do we need to put a motion on that again?
No, you have your motion right now for the 3 bids, we need to vote on that one.
Okay.
So all in favor of 3 bids?
I,
Anybody against? 5-0, okay.
5-0. All right, moving on to discuss item 3, discuss consider Christmas lighting at the corner of.
I'm sorry, I think we need to finish up a couple of things on number 2 before we move forward. Who is going to make any changes to the draft, and who's gonna send the draft out, and the businesses, of course.
In regards to the proposals for the work to be done.
So what are we looking at for changes? What I'm hearing is making sure we're including things about guarantees and also the coverage on the medians. And are we going to assume that whoever's going to do landscaping can do the signage? Because I think that's 2 separate things.
It is. It
That's
probably
the discussion.
So we're gonna need some RFPs on signage. Right?
Yeah, and there might be something that most landscaping companies can include in a bid, and they would just outsource it to another company, but we can do it all in one invoice to that company. I would say that's the most likely, is they'll give us a bid, they'll probably have, you know, a 10 to 20% markup for going and finding a company to do it.
Or they can decline that they can't provide that service.
Right.
So who's gonna take the draft and add in the end caps, and then the possibility to sign, and the warranties?
I can take that on if nobody wants to do it.
I can help or we can work together or
Okay.
whatever, because if you're choosing. Also, you know,
We should. Help you chase cows?
no.
Thanks.
Okay, I can send you the Word document.
Okay.
Shannon, can we go ahead and get 3 individual bids for the signage, for the end caps, and for the intersection beautification?
You can break it out as any way you want, but you're gonna need to get 3 for each bid.
Okay.
Scott, this is a great idea.
And Scott, I mean, if this is in your wheelhouse and you would rather take this over.
I'm just making suggestions.
Yeah. Okay,
So are you doing separate bid for end caps that's not gonna be included in Evergreen? Is that what you're saying?
No, they can go ahead and bid everything in if they wanna supply an individual bid for each. The signage, the end caps, as well as the intersection locations. So they can do it all in one bid, but they need to have it broken down.
oh, he's just wanting them separated. I think.
That's why you need to make sure that your RFP that you're gonna send out has that information in there.
What you want.
What's the timeline to get this done?
That's
Next
up to
meeting,
you guys.
say by our next meeting, when's our next meeting?
July 8th.
Should be able to get 3 bids by July 8th.
Did you want to decide on the bids, or is that just gonna be the two of you working on the RFP? Which is fine, I just wanna make sure the board.
I mean, I would say let's decide by July 8th. Which we'll have the bids by then, and at that meeting, we can all decide which one to go forward with.
So the RFP will be done before that, we have to figure out how much time we need to get the RFP totally done and get it out for bids.
Yeah. We got 3 months to the next meeting, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just thought maybe you wanna talk about the business, or where you're gonna send the bids to. For the next meeting, if you're expecting the bids to come back in so you can make your decision.
Okay. Is that something we have to approve the 3 companies that we're gonna have bid the projects, or can we just get 3 companies to bid them and submit them by? I mean, I think I'm okay with just getting 3 separate bids and then we discuss and move forward again.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, I just don't know where you're getting those bids from.
Yeah, I don't.
So that way, if you guys needed, if anybody had any
Well, I think somebody said,
preferences.
and then
Because they never reach
Evergreen,
out.
and then one more.
Yeah,
And Kurt mentioned, you know, maybe somebody from Double Oak or whoever's done a great
Yes,
job.
Mark.
Then I can send you our contact. I think Rachel who did it for us, so I'll send you that and then you can just send her the bid.
How many different ones did we have when they initially came back, because when we started on this project? When there 3 already,
no, we said.
or just the 2?
But everybody, the one that Brenda sent it to, I'm not sure
Okay,
who
so
that,
we at least had 2.
Yes. Brenda sent it to somebody.
Okay,
I can get that information and send it to.
Why don't we do this then? Over the next 30 days, we will pick some companies. I will provide them to Ms. Shannon. Shannon can email the group. And the group can choose 3 from the list to get bids from.
okay.
Then we'll get those bids, and then we will decide July 8th. Which one of those 3 that we will move forward with. Sound fair? Yes,
Would you have them, people who are chosen to actually present their thinking on it, and would that be something you
I
would?
think that's feasible and fair. I think that's a fair request that July 8th, we ask maybe one of their representatives to come in here and present.
Just their
Present
thinking,
your proposal.
yeah, as to what they were thinking when they put. those-
Yeah, versus us, trying to read a piece of paper and, is this upside down, is this sideways, or, we can give them access to technology here, right, to,
Yeah, they just need to send me the file beforehand, so I can load it on the computer.
Okay.
Do you wanna point out? That doing that is fine, but you're in a public setting, so the competitors will be able to hear what the other ones. If that's okay. with you.
Well, how about if we have a time sequence in which they all have 10 minutes to give their deal and they have to walk out the room?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Or they can sit in and see what everyone else is saying.
isn't that part of, I guess, the American process, that was hearing other people?
I just wanted to make sure you're aware of it, that's all.
I don't know, for fairness, we could draw numbers out of a hat to see who presents their first bid, and that way nobody has the ability to change.
Have any of you ever been on that side of the pitch? It's very competitive and you kind of don't want to give away your trade secrets. At that point, I would arrange for them to be individuals just because whoever gets chosen has got to be a good partner.
That's true. It's true.
Maybe it'd be better if you collect the bids and see which one you like and want to have them come at a different meeting.
Okay, that's fair. I can talk to a contact too at Pogue.
That's a good idea.
They're the ones who are doing the Argyle Ball Stadium. He's the one who does bids and projects for Pogue. So I can reach out to him and see who they use for landscaping on those massive commercial projects and the stadium projects too. So, and that might be something, he's able to come in and present to us for some bid.
But I think we still have time, since we're meeting in July. We wouldn't be planting or anything until fall.
Yeah, we're not gonna wanna, with the heat in the summer, so that would still give us time to make revisions between July 8th and the next meeting. And we can always call a special meeting if we needed to.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, so do we need any more clarity on this?
I do not believe so.
So moving on to item number 3, discuss and consider Christmas lighting at the corner of FM 407 and McMakin. So
Yes.
it's early, but it's better to be early than,
Well, we're finding it harder and harder, especially since we moved the quarterly meeting schedule. And we did talk about this at the last meeting to add us in, just so that we can start working on this. The gentleman that, brought in the tree that we've received so many compliments on, has offered us the same lighting sequence that he did for the last year at the same price, 14,000. So he's waiting to see if he wanted, to advertise that tree to other people or see if they wanna buy it. But he wanted this offer, so I asked if he could wait until after I met with you guys to see if you wanted to do that, or if you wanted to.
I actually think that that's not, I know that sounds astronomical, but I think that's pretty competitive is what people are charging.
It's very competitive, previous chair Van Alstine and I tried to reach out to many businesses last year that did lighting. And one, if we were too small, they wouldn't even call us back. And costs are.
It's terrible, I mean, just to light your residential home now is important, so I can't even imagine,
and this is just to rent the tree every year essentially?
Well, just for the next year, I'm not sure if.
And this is just for the tree or this is
The
every?
tree and all the lighting that we put in, they do the install, they take away. They set everything up and we wouldn't have to worry about storing the tree until Christmas.
And it's the presents that are in front of it, et cetera.
Presents, the wreath that we put on
It's the light.
And if something goes out, they're going to,
and he actually, the owner of the company, the one I speak with, he lives in Montana, so he drives by it every day and. He's been out there before.
I think that's a great, I mean,
I would be curious to see what's the cost to purchase it and what's the cost to store it. Maybe we can,
We currently store the town Christmas tree that we bought for 20,000. We bought one of the lower ends. We put it in an off-site storage right now, that's $140 a month. And we have to have volunteers to go get it and store it and bring it back.
yeah, what I meant was having this gentleman store it, like we purchase it and it's something that we own, but he can maintain and store it. We're happy to pay him to install it. every year.
look at the price of that tree and it was something like,
The tree, I believe last year when he offered it to me, I think it was in the 40s.
yeah.
and it doesn't count storage.
So that one did not include storage.
Didn't include anything else.
I don't think that he wants to store it, that's why he's trying to sell it, and if he can't. That he knows that we would wanna put it up there, and he's not wasting money. Not having it be utilized.
Can we get them to do a 2-year deal on it?
I can absolutely try.
You know, where at least he knows where it's going all the time, so
And so,
if he gets a wild hair, he doesn't sell it out from underneath us.
Or increase the price next year, we can negotiate it for a couple of
I
years.
have no problem reaching out to them and say that you're really favorable. I wanted to know if we could do a 2-year instead of just. You know, that 26 and 27 year at 14 for each year.
How much if he decides he wants to, most people want to budget 5 to 10%, so what are y'all willing to go to negotiate this? It's a 2-year deal at this price, or you willing to?
I think we need to approach it at 2-year at this price right now,
Yeah.
Okay.
and see what he comes back with.
Yeah, or even, you know, you can throw it out at, you know, because it's guaranteed income for 2 years. You know, going in, hey, we'll do 2 years for 25, or, you know, I don't mind giving him 28, but. In the spirit of negotiating, sometimes you gotta. Start somewhere else and end up at full price, but.
Okay, so if
It's gotta
he
make sense.
doesn't want to negotiate, or do you wanna not do this for at least 26 and?
So I say we,
I think
For
we should
sure,
do it.
26.
This sure does look nice.
yes,
We got a lot of calls.
well, I thought it looked amazing.
I.
I even had my Montana friends go, God, I did this, that was really nice.
I think it looks great. I think my heart, right, being resident. Dad who loves Christmas, all my kids have Christmas themed names in their names. I would love to see us embrace this and have something that we can build on every year versus we've got a tree. And then this is good for 2 years, and then now we're gonna replace that tree with, you know, a log or a snowman or, you know, whatever type things, but I like to own stuff that, you know, essentially we can build on. I know that comes with more storage and.
Storage
And that's
is
the-
his problem.
Yeah,
The biggest issue, because you have to look into the storage, you have to have the climate control. You don't want mice, or like getting into the wires and things like that.
And then you've also gotta look at volunteers to you know, put that up and down every.
well, I do know there are companies, full service Christmas lighting companies that'll take it down, they'll store it, they've got the facilities, and it's just something every year you work out.
You can give me some names, I've been more than happy to look into that. We have not.
I was gonna say, when we did the Christmas lights, they don't store, you buy them from them and they put them up every year and take them down, but you stored it.
That's the way we do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way we do here, we have to store, they put them up.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. I'm open certainly for this year, maintaining the same level of what we had. And I would love to keep this on the docket, you know, maybe further down the road to look at least over the next few months, somebody or I can research it a little bit and see what long-term options we can come up with. But I'm perfectly fine with moving ahead with this guy again.
And getting 2026.
2026 locked in, for sure, we'd like to go ahead and see if he's good for the next few years.
Mhm.
So that
If he
may,
does 3, does he give us the tree for free?
essentially basically,
Do not mind to do that. Can I have a motion of this?
yeah, let's put a motion out there,
For 2 years.
motion for. You want to do a motion for 2 years?
2 years.
Okay, let's do a motion for approving the Christmas tree we used in 2025 for 2026 and 2027.
A second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 5-4, 0 against.
Thank you so much.
Anything else within Christmas light consideration before we move on?
I don't think so. The other point that you had is that there might be a couple other things that we might want to have that we can afford by ourselves
Sure.
without making it look too much like a circus ground, but
What was our budget last year?
14.
Okay. That'll most likely be about the same. I know we get to vote on it and make that call, right?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe once we get to the budget, we'll have a clearer idea. We've got 2 years for doing this, so that we can sort of table this for a later discussion, right?
Yeah, and I can talk to him and see what he's willing to do and bring that back to you, but at least that we know that we had 2026 on the books, and then tell him, you know, the day after Thanksgiving, we want it up, we want it big for our buck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or the day after Halloween.
No.
I don't think we can get away with
That's
that.
when mine go.
Oh, you're one of
You
those.
got kids that are named Christmas.
I mean, it's so much work to enjoy it for 30 days, just seems so sad.
No, I agree. I get very upset with the stores.
Rid of it at the end of 30 days.
All right, so if there's nothing further on Christmas decor, we're gonna move on to item number 4. Discuss and evaluate potential options to fill vacancies at Bartonville Town Center and Lantana Town Center.
Mr. Chair, Directors, I think this is just something, and we've talked a little. We don't have any more commercial. The Whataburger and Breaks Plus, you all know that they are looking at putting in the tire shop, Chipotle and Papa John's at the other there at Blanco. So as obviously economic development, we have some spaces that could be bringing in revenue for the town that are vacant. There's one actually, and I went out today. If you look on the right side, and I printed it for y'all to see a little better. It's in between the donut shop. It's 140 is the suite number. Yeah, right in there. That is also vacant. So you have 4. We actually have 3 vacancies, and then you also have the old Dickies. Which there's 2 what they call Generation 2 restaurants that are already pretty much plumbed and ready to go to be restaurants. You have the old Fat Burger that's been open. I mean, it's been vacant for a year now. And so you have these vacancies that I think as a board, maybe you want to look at maybe options getting with the leasing company, which is New Quest. And I can get you that information to just try and figure out, is there anything we can do as a board to try and attract? And they may, see what they're doing, what are the strategies, what can we do to bring them in? And there's obviously some more over at the Bartonville Town Center. I did have a number, I didn't put it in there, I apologize. But just, because here's what's happening, I think everyone knows this. They just put in a Tom Thumb in Argyle. They're gonna do an HEB. People are gonna start not going to Kroger. So there's gonna be revenue loss, tax base for the town of Arlington.
Sure.
Which affects obviously everything. So I just think that might be something we need to start looking at strategically as a board. What can we do to try and attract and keep businesses? So I just wanted to put that out there and for discussion and.
That's fair, and I know Brenda's not here. She was gonna make a proposal to 407 Barbecue to open up the branch over here, so I was curious if she told anybody if she made that connection.
So we're, what?
Over Dickies.
Yeah, or Dickies or any one of these vacancies, I mean, having, 407 Barbecue on this side of town.
That's
side of
so
tracks.
convenient.
Yeah,
They would probably be able to handle work, Fat Burger and Country.
yeah.
That's
easy. Yeah, so, this proposed dessert,
I'm not sure what I'm not sure if they already have something in the works. I just saw that,
Okay.
what is that? So I know that's where Fat Burger was, whether or not they had somebody come in, a yogurt company or whatever, because that's their deal. We don't manage that. So I don't know what that dessert, other than it's vacant.
and that proposed retail blue lot there.
That is the one in between the Whataburger and Breaks Plus.
Right now, it's just grass.
It's just grass. Nobody has, the only ones that they have had any discussion with, as you'll see, Papa John's, was it Marvis?
Yeah.
Marvis
Tires and Chipotle. But that is the last plat. That
Is
is,
that for sure going in there?
yes, ma'am. Oh, they started the process last September. And then they didn't get things done in time for whatever reason, construction does. So they defaulted and they had to wait 90 days,
6 months.
6 months, sorry, before they could resubmit.
Really?
And then April's the 6th.
April, they'll be able to resubmit.
Okay.
But they are still looking. They are still planning on it.
Huh.
I can assure you, this went out to bid 2 months ago. Et cetera, up there.
I mean,
Davis and Chipotle and Papa Joe for the Shell building. I know that for a fact because I've been on.
well, the sign's been out there about that long.
Well, I hope you can bid.
I just know.
Like you said, yeah, as far as having people committed. Yeah.
Okay.
Then noise that.
So yeah, I'm open to discussing, are we talking about a potential budget for marketing or we're just talking about having a discussion with New Quest? See how.
I just think as a board, I think you could have a spokesperson to reach out. That's just my thoughts. You know, you're the board, economic development. You know, I just wanted to throw it out there that we have places that have been open for over a year.
Okay.
And we have those slots, whether, I'm not saying they're doing a good job, I'm not doing a good job, but maybe they're not working as hard.
Sure.
You know, like you say, Brenda's saying the 407, they may not think of those things, so I just say you meet with I think his name's, Jake,
Who
Quest is, yeah, it's Josh, Friedlander. He is the director of leasing, senior VP. And so he is the one that I would think that you maybe reach out to, and all of that's on the website. If you go to their website, you can see all of that on New Quest, and they'll have all the contact information.
Okay.
Like I said, I just wanted to throw it out there and
Sure.
see what, if anything, you can, attract some businesses.
And they might be willing to, because you're here on the ground and you hear what your neighbors say.
Mm-hmm. I'll contact him.
Okay, I was gonna say with me being a licensed realtor, I don't know if there's any conflict of interest there.
That's highlighted.
What's that?
Blue Canyon Pools.
That you said it, that's what was there before they went out of business.
Okay.
And that's where it's Suite 140 in between the donut shop. That's what that is. That was the business that used to be there, but is now vacant. Because I drove by there today and it's vacant. Because I said I knew there were more than,
There's a goodwill on this.
yeah, Goodwill's over there over by the Mexican restaurants. It went in 6 months ago.
Come on, next to the dry cleaner.
Okay. So yes, so you're gonna reach out to.
Yes, I will reach out to Josh.
Yeah.
I will contact him. I will send out an email to Shannon and let her know what I find out, and she can spread the word.
Do we need to do an official motion for him to be able to reach out?
No, consensus is fine.
I'm so glad you did all this.
Yes, she does. She's good.
All right, are we able to move on to number 5? Okay.
Unless there's any other discussion, I think you guys kind of finished it.
Discuss and consider the proposed schedule for the fiscal year 2026 through 2027 budget.
Yes, thank you. At the last meeting, we also wanted to get on the books, when we talk about budget. And that would be at our next meeting. And at that next meeting, staff will bring you the proposed budget. Kirk and myself. And then you guys will have a chance to talk about it, make any changes if you feel like it. And then we'll ask you to approve it that end of that night so that council can approve it in August and be ready for your fiscal year.
Okay.
And I think we'll send it out a little earlier than what we normally would. That way you guys can take a look at
Give you plenty of time to review it before we.
All right, item 6, discussion of financial report ending March 2026. Ms. Shannon.
it. On page 17 of your packet is where the financials start. I wanted to stay and check the bank balance today, and as of today, your balance is $747,587. Very healthy bank account. This month, sales tax revenue plus mixed beverage tax, you guys were able to collect $10,100.55. We're just like Kirk started saying that with the new shopping centers coming in, our sales tax is going a little bit down, so we're hoping we have 52 left in our balance to remain, so hopefully over the next couple months we'll get that, but I just wanted to point that out. Your interest on your bank account for this month was $2,072. Unfortunately, the rates actually going down across the board everywhere and. I mean, I can't say anything else, that's, it is what it is.
And this is not something we could shop for another bank?
We can, but, and we will be doing that soon probably. It's just that all we can do is get what the federal rate is.
Sure.
And when the federal rate goes down, cause that's what we currently have right now with our bank. So for the total revenue of March was $12,172. And the only expenses that you have incurred this month. Is our normal mowing and water, which was consisted of $964. So overall, right now, you have 87% of your balance, your budget remaining. But we have not had anybody request any grants, obviously, we would bring those to you and not wait for a quarterly meeting if somebody requested one of those. We feel like, somebody wants some money and you have it.
And these grants, they can get up to 10,000 or?
It depends on their project and what they ask for. And then you can give them what they ask for, or you can go for a smaller, but we have budgeted 100,000. The last couple of grants, they only asked for 10,000 and that's what they got. But we have done some that were larger than that.
And we've paid out those grants, in 2026 from the 2025 request. Is that right? So anything we've had out there has already been paid out, it's not.
Correct, everything that's been requested have been paid out, we don't have anything that pending. You have any questions over the?
I don't have any question, and this is something, I mean, it's obviously not a secret. We've talked about it here in these meetings, but are there any other ways? Aside from the board going out, handshaking, knocking on doors and letting people know that we're here to help, is there any other? Communication, master email lists, any sort of website blogs, posts that businesses know to check for things that we're offering?
We do not have the staff
Okay.
to do blogs and whatnot, but our grant request funding is on the website, on our economic development
I've
website.
actually seen it on,
Mhm.
so.
So word of mouth, and like you said, your job as an economic development director is trying to retain the current businesses that we have, so,
Tracks new, right?
and attract new.
So Scott, I mean, I would throw this out here when you have your discussion with NewQuest. That we have a potential budget to help new businesses, incentivize them by coming in here. If they want to fill out a grant, right? I mean, is that within?
No, that's.
I mean. They can, yeah, I mean, that what you're.
Before they open their doors, let's say, they want to do a
Sure.
big launch party or come to
They
us
can do that.
for sending out mailers, those types of things.
Mhm. And
Because we want them to be successful, right?
we want them to
We don't
be
want this to
successful, but
close.
if they read through that, they'd have to see what they have to, we would require. Obviously, that they would have to do certain things for the next couple of years, but if not, they'd have to ask for that money back.
And is that something that was decided on by council and it's law? Or is that something that we have the ability to amend and say, like, this is attracting business, this is no strings attached grant money?
There's certain requirements that they have to, that's law that they have to follow.
You have to be in business at least 2 years, right?
And
And
then
if you
show them.
don't, then you default, and you're supposed to pay the money back.
Okay, but a brand new business, brand new LLC can ask for money, they just have to remain doors open for 2 years. Paying taxes and all the stuff for 2 years, maintaining good standing in the community, all that stuff.
And ways and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, all that's set out in the funding request that we have online.
All right. If you wouldn't mind.
I'll send that out
Just
to you.
email that to everybody.
Sure,
I'd like to familiarize myself with it and just not having to track it down on the website, just so I can speak intelligently about it if I do go shake some hands.
and if you guys want to send this out, you have wanna see changes or whatnot, we can add that to the next agenda to discuss it.
Yeah, and right now it's brick and mortar, correct? Has to be brick and mortar in Bartonville.
I don't think it can be anything else because it's tied to employees and they need to see that, so I don't think it's a home base.
Okay. Okay. All right, anything else for item 6?
I guess the only question I would have for all of us, because my husband and I have been talking about this since I looked this information over, trying to figure out what else are we missing here? As far as what would be desirable for the Bartonville community, as far as retail is concerned, that might fit into these niches that are open.
Sure.
And, you know.
That's a great idea. I mean, can we put it on the agenda to discuss the potential marketing plan to residents to see what businesses they want in here? And then maybe we can see what we can do to attract them.
Because we're just a small group, there might be some way to get other people engaged to try to give us some other ideas.
Yeah, you can definitely have the discussion on.
Surveys on Bartonville Facebook group, hey, what name the businesses you'd like to see?
Get ready for Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that's gonna be your top one.
I mean, that's what we hear, Chick-fil-A. I mean, I'm not, they want Chick-fil-A. I mean, and the other thing you gotta remember, some of these small areas are like boutiques or just startups, like a little, which you don't want a big company coming in there. I think it's against our ordinance anyway, but there's certain other things that, we gotta look at. I mean,
Cause we can't have a drive-through, right? That's the other thing, Bartonville.
well, you can, but you have to have a CUP, which is a conditional use permit. And they had to do that with I wasn't here for that, but it was quite an interesting conversation. At the Whataburger, they had to do a CUP on that. A conditional use permit on how that all worked out and the times of operation, all these other different things that they had. And and then of course we have the drive-through at the Chipotle, but it's different, because it's just pickup, it's not order. But yes, they.
And then Swig and Andy's has CUPs because of
Yes.
the.
Yeah, I heard that the only reason why Whataburger got approved is that it's on the other side. I don't understand.
I came in at the.
I wasn't here for that one, I just heard about it. Yeah.
It's a good sales tax revenue.
They're busy all the time.
That's good. That's what we want. All right, was that number 5 or number 6? I'm sorry.
We were on number 6.
6. If nothing further on the March 2026 financial report, we're gonna move on to future items.
So you want, for the next agenda in July, you want to talk about a marketing plan to figure out what residents want.
Right. Yeah, if anybody else is interested in having that discussion. Okay.
I do.
I don't wanna be alone and volunteer for anything extra. If it's a team effort, then I think we can put our heads together.
I think we all got contacts in the area, I think it's nice.
Yeah.
We've got, that's silly.
Yeah.
I needed to talk to you about that. If you still need volunteers, I'll be there. But the first thing I'm gonna ask people is, what else do you want to see in the community? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I don't wanna discuss it now, but my head instantly goes to like pre-posted postcards that they can just fill out, drop in the mail, and it comes here.
What I would do, I think, if you were reaching out to Josh, say, hey, who's put in for these places? Why didn't they go ahead and sign the lease? I think that would be an important, strategic information to share with y'all, so you don't like do double duty. Does that make sense? I would, because it's gonna be different. I think different businesses at Lantana Town Center versus Bartonville Town Center. When you look at those, you got your hair salon, you do have the tavern and small, but I think it's a little different up
It's
here.
totally different.
Yeah, and so I think you gotta look at what are they attracting, how are they attracting, what have they brought in, what did they get? So that would be my recommendation, is they already know probably what the target audience is. They may have some kind of huge data on.
It's got that many notes.
Yeah, they probably have a lot of, I don't use that idea that ask the community, but I'm sure they probably have a lot of data.
Well, you're gonna hear, like we said, Chick-fil-A, they're gonna scream Chick-fil-A,
Yes,
and you're not gonna get much more than that.
and no one
And
Chick-fil-A.
that can't get on that
Chick-fil-A right
retail
there.
space right next to Whataburger?
I probably sure could, but I don't know if that would be something, you can ask Josh.
Over there, over to TMS, it's right next to Whataburger.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Already. They're in an end suite.
Well, they're so weird, Chick-fil-A is about where they're so strategic.
Oh, yeah, they're like Costco.
Oh,
So they will probably go to Argyle, that new growth out there.
There's already one there in front of the Tom Thumb shop.
yeah, you're right, they can be pretty selective, cause they know no matter where they plop it, it's making money,
It is.
just it's.
Gold.
Mhm.
I have a friend that owns 2 or 3 of them, and
Maybe we'll put that as a joke in our, whatever we come up with, other than Chick-fil-A. See,
I mean, it's great ideas, I like the, just, and then all I wanted to do is just get us thinking about what can we do to bring in businesses. Cause,
Do we have any kind of pitch material for Bartonville and what we're about and how many people here and what the,
we have the magazine, Jan, that they just did, now we can look at, other.
like if you were cold calling on some of these firms to say, would you be interested in
so you want like one sheeter, like our tax rate is this, and you got,
something that sells the community?
I'll guarantee you, after I talk to Josh, you'll have all that information.
yeah.
Pull up the land.
He'll do all the traffic stuff and
You
everything.
don't have to.
That has that, Jan, just so you know, they have the demographics, they have, income. When I was looking at that, they had all that listed on their flyer,
Okay,
and that's something that, yes, we can say, here's what it is. Here's our demographics, here's our minimum household, here's our,
I think the traffic input's more than anything else. It goes by every day on 407.
407,
There is
the
a
main,
buttload
like
of.
you say, McMakin, obviously 407 is our main thoroughfare, but. I think at the very bottom.
is that strip center where the Walgreens,
That's not-
Quick Car and all that, is that Copper Canyon or is that?
Where's that? I'm sorry.
407 where the Quick Car is and the Walgreens?
That is actually,
CVS is Copper Canyon.
yes,
Copper Canyon.
that's Copper Canyon, the Pizza Hut, all of that.
Just double
Pretty
look at
sure.
your retail?
Only where they have double oak is it's weird, it's all the way down past that church on the right, the Sherman Williams.
Oh, yeah.
It's sort of a weird, that's all they have. It's just a little slot. Now they're trying to get, which I'm sure y'all have seen the signs, and I don't know what I'm talking about that.
No, get.
Yeah, that's another top. But that's sort of some of the stuff, is that what you're sort of talking about?
also some sort of pitch
Yeah,
material.
I mean, that's sort of, now that's just not Bartonville, I think they're
Right.
global, they're talking about our area.
Sure.
Cause we're not having a 17% increase, population, thank goodness.
That's in the brochure on the
Yeah.
website.
Because Lantana's fully built out, I mean, with the exception of a few 6-acre lots here and there in Bartonville, I mean, we're not gonna see huge growth. But drive-by traffic for everybody coming from Argyle or Highland Village.
Extended area.
I mean, I'd love to see Village 7 barbecue there, I think everybody.
I think that would be wonderful.
That would be a great fit.
I don't know what it's, I don't know what it is, what is it, 2,000, 1,500, 3,000, a month, I don't know what their releasing
Yeah.
prices.
But we can't cover rent for, let's say, 3 months or something.
I think that with the grants, I don't know that's something that I don't know what the grant allows, we'd have to look at that.
Or let's say you put in barbecue pits, or, I mean, I don't know what is in the scope of the grants. So,
It could be towards the improvement within the space.
okay,
I think they could
Yes,
use.
one of the ones that we did for Bartonville Town Center was, we helped them with a matching grant for the electric car stations, the 2 stations that they have over there at the parking lot.
And where's that?
In the Bartonville Town Center,
Okay.
I think it's over like to the wide area.
Over by in front of Marty B's Coffee.
Thank you.
What are they building in that huge tent in the Kroger parking
Yeah.
lot?
It's just storage, they're having to do some remodeling, it's just storage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rotors?
Yeah, they're doing something in the, and that's why when it first came up, so I knew I'd get asked. I was, what are y'all doing? And they're using.
Well, they are taking down, like yesterday when I came in, they had like racks down and they're totally like redoing their floor.
Yeah, if that's another item.
Brendan will be yelling at us at being over 7, so. Any other future items you guys would like to discuss July 8th?
I think your marketing would be a very good place to start.
Okay, and that's on there.
This is my list.
All right, with the time being 7:32, this meeting is adjourned.
Second. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
And again, my apologies on being late. I feel late.
We're 2 minutes